Are you even in focus though, bruv? Sharpening. Sharpening in post. Quite often these days, I find myself on set or filming with other filmmakers, and I find people coming up to me and asking me questions, maybe because they're a younger filmmaker or they're just starting out, and I've got a little bit more experience maybe. I've also found that I really enjoy helping other filmmakers and answering their questions if I can. So I thought maybe I could bring a bit of value by making a video about my experiences and my top tips and the questions that I most get asked by other filmmakers. So here we go. These are my top tips for freelance filmmakers. Number one is always be learning. This industry changes so much. The kit changes, styles change, what's in fashion changes. You have to keep up with all of that stuff. For me, there are a few different ways that I do it. I always look to other creators. A lot of the time that is on YouTube, whether it's people like Daniel Schiffer or James Matthews or Make Art Now or The Modern Filmmaker. There are loads of people that I look to that maybe are doing things a little bit differently to me, and I think, oh yeah, that's really cool, I might try doing something in that style. Other filmmakers are amazing to learn from, especially if you're on set with them or you're friends with them. And for me, it doesn't matter if you've been in the business longer or they've been in the business longer. Like, a lot of my friends haven't been doing it as long as me, but they have other knowledge. For example, one of them might know a bit more about sound design or sound recording, and I might know a little bit more about color grading or something like that. Either way, there are friends that you will have experience and knowledge that you can gain from. I personally think it's amazing to share all of those things with each other because we can just learn from each other, and that's just going to keep making you a better filmmaker. Another way that I learn is by watching loads of films and loads of TV, and if I like something, I try and figure out why I like it. What was it about that particular scene that I liked? Was it the acting? Was it the framing? Was it the lighting? What was it about us? So unprofessional. Unbelievable. Also, with a lot of the things that I like, that inspires me when I'm on a shoot. And it's just like, it's good knowledge to have in the back of your head, things that you've liked, things that have inspired you. And that way, when you're on set, you can apply that stuff. Even if it's just like in the back of your mind, if it's like subliminal, it's always good to have that knowledge there and to have studied why it is you like what you like. I also think it's really important to know every element of your craft. So for me, there are times when, if I'm on a lower budget shoot, I might be lighting it, I'm directing, I'm shooting, I'm recording sound, and you need to know all of that stuff backwards. That's where like learning from other YouTubers or other filmmakers comes in handy, because that's a really good way of learning all of those individual elements. But it is so important to know every element of what you're doing really, really well, because then you're going to be doing a better job, and if you're doing a better job, you're going to enjoy it more. Number two is to get inspired and stay inspired. Inspiration is everywhere around you. There are stories everywhere, whether it's watching people in the street or looking at some framing through a window. Inspiration is everywhere, and if you're inspired, you're probably going to be creating better work because of it and enjoying doing it more. So I people watch. I will read books, I'll listen to music, I will look at art, go to galleries, whatever it is, there's always something there to keep you inspired. And if you're inspired, then you're going to be more creative. And if you find that you're working on something and you're struggling creatively and you're not finding solutions like you need to, something that I sometimes do is I'll put that creativity somewhere else. So for example, I might pick up my guitar, or I might start to draw something or write something. And then I find that because I've triggered my brain in a different creative way, I often just stumble across the solution to the problem that I was looking for. Number 3, and this is a big one for me, story first. It's something that I've talked with younger filmmakers and people who are newer to the business about a lot, because there has been a tendency for some filmmakers to really put so much importance on the kit. And I'm not saying kit is important, because I think kit is important, but the story is far more important. If you're not telling a good story, your audience or your clients, they're not going to care that you've shot it on an Arri or a Red. They're going to care that either you're solving their business problem, or if you're making a short or a feature, that you're telling them a really good story. The kit is secondary. The kit is a bonus. As long as you've got kit to be able to tell your story and tell your story well, that's all you need. Number 4, be adaptable. For me, I always look at it as I go into a shoot being as prepared as I can be. I do my shot list, I do my storyboard, I know the script backwards, I know exactly what I'm going to do on the day, but I also know that that is going to change. The plan that you have going into a shoot is so rarely what ends up happening. If you can be adaptable and creative on the day, but with that backup of knowing that you've studied really well and knowing that you know what you're going to do, then you're going to get an even better result, because you've got all of that, you've got that stepping stone, you've got that base to work on. And if you're adaptable and creative on the day and looking for new solutions to problems, again, you're going to get better results and you're going to enjoy it more. Number 5, and this is so simple and obvious, but make your clients or your audience happy. I think it's really important to tell stories and do work that you want to do and that you're happy with. But I also think it's far more rewarding if you can do work that other people are enjoying. So if you're doing a short, you're telling a story that an audience is going to get something from. And if you're doing corporate or commercial work, you're solving someone's problem. So it's about making your audience or your client happy. If you're making your audiences happy, they're going to want to see more of your work. And surely that can only be a good thing. Likewise, with clients, if you're making your clients happy, that leads to repeat work. And if you're doing jobs that you're happy with, then that is a brilliant thing. Because if you're doing a job for a client that you like and you're making work that you're happy with, then you probably want to be doing more of it. Which leads us into number 6, be happy. For me, I got into filmmaking because I love it and it makes me happy. But there have been times when I've been doing a job and I haven't enjoyed it. It's not a product that I like, it's not a brand that I can get behind, or whatever it is, I haven't particularly enjoyed the job. More often than not, I've known that before I signed up to do the job. And the only benefit has been the financial reward, which is fine, but it's not good for my well-being or my mental health or my happiness if I'm doing a job that I'm not enjoying. And also because the work is likely to suffer as well. You're probably not going to do as good a job if you're not enjoying it. The most important thing in the world to me is being happy and doing something that you love. Say yes to the jobs that you want to do. You will enjoy them more, you will be better at them, and you will be a happier person for it. So those are my top tips. I hope you got something. If I've missed anything, feel free to make a comment below. If you think anything I said was nonsense, also feel free to tell me. If you liked what I had to say, then brilliant. I really hope I can bring some value to what you're doing. Please come back and visit again. I think I'll be making more videos like this, so yeah, hope to see you soon. Does this work as an outro?